Welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining me in yet another faction review. Today we're going to be going over the vast array of vehicles available to the Finnish army for their armored cars. So this one will be relatively short. There's 3. But they do have some decent options available to them if limited. So don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel, and I do appreciate it. Let's get started. So the first one, you've got the Landsverk. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. 182. So quite like a lot of the Soviet heavy armored cars, but you've got the 20 PST KIV 39. So basically a kind of light anti-tank gun almost. It's more than an anti-tank rifle, but it's a pretty light anti-tank gun. And you've got the L33 machine guns. So you've got 2 of those, 1 coaxial and 1 hull mounted. Crew of 5, which is a lot for an armored car, though it does give you 65 speed, which is actually quite respectable for an armored car that's this heavy. Now you do have 5 to 10 for your hull armor and 5 to 15 for your turret armor, so actually pretty well protected. You still got to worry about anti-tank guns, but you are in an armored car. So something like this is going to allow you to, especially early on in conquest battles, deal with a lot of enemy vehicles that you're going to come across. You're not going to be too bad against infantry with those 2 machine guns, and you don't have to worry about anything really other than anti-tank rifles. So pretty good one to bring, and pretty good. You need to support it with infantry if you're not using it in that sort of recce role, but not bad for fire support and not bad as a sort of rapid response vehicle. So pretty good. And I'd say it's probably, I don't really know how I feel about this, but it's kind of equivalent, I think, to the BA6. The BA6 does give you a better cannon. The 45mm is really quite potent, but you are a bit slower, a bit less well armored. So, it's kind of difficult because if you are in something like this, you're going to be tempted to take on tanks with it, which you certainly can early in the game, but you are still quite vulnerable. So, watch my Soviet video for a more in-depth review of some of the heavier Soviet armored cars, but they're pretty good if you support them with infantry, but they're still going to be quite vulnerable. So just watch out for that. Though you do have essentially the same firepower, technically more, because you have 2 machine guns than a lot of the early Soviet light tanks. So worth taking, and well, if you're playing as Finland, you don't really have that many options. And then finally, the BA-10. Which is essentially the BA6 with some of the major issues slightly fixed. You've got the same armament, slightly heavier armor, so you don't have to worry about small arms, heavy machine guns now, and you are a little bit quicker. So certainly not a bad armored car, though, if you have this limited of a list available to you, I would just recommend, trying to get a light tank at this point rather than relying too much on light vehicles like armored cars. Up to you. But anyways, that is what you get if you're a Finnish player. Now, a trick if you're a Finnish player is capture enemy vehicles, especially if you're in a conquest playthrough. Try to take whatever you can from the enemy. A lot of it uses the same ammo as available to you, especially infantry weapons, machine guns, things like that. So you can refill your ammo right on the battlefield, and it's going to just help you because essentially you're getting it for free, and you have such limited selections available to you that, don't turn anything down, especially a lot of the lighter armored cars if that's something you want. Though a lot of the Finnish vehicles are essentially the same as available to the Soviets, which you'll probably be playing against most if you're doing a conquest battle. So it's kind of great because you do have the interchangeability with a lot of the equipment that you are capturing. That being said, it's not necessarily the best equipment. So anyways, brief video. Pretty small selection, but thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out the next video that I post. We'll see where we go. Probably US. All right. Thanks again for watching. See ya. Bye.